Testing, 1, 2, and we are live. Mic looks pretty good. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the newly reformed Saturday morning stand-up. I'm your host, Bronze Dragon. This stand-up has been running for 2+ years now. A few months ago, I started including Atlas Earth into the live stream, and it was working moderately well, but I found that going back and forth between the topics of Splinterlands and other Hive related games and the topic of Atlas Earth, it was kind of causing a tough discussion. So I decided that this week we are splitting up the topics. Saturday morning stand-up remains Splinterlands related, and other things if you want to talk about other games on the Hive blockchain or whatever. And then I'm moving all the Atlas Earth discussion to a live stream occurring at noon on Sundays. So if you're interested in that, you can pop over to that. But this week I made the kind of division of the topics. I think it will serve both audiences better. So we can talk about one particular subject more in depth instead of jumping back and forth. So if you play both games, I hope to see you at both live streams. Otherwise, this has been a huge week, and I think that is putting it mildly in Splinterlands, because I put out a video that went live last night to my members and then went live to everybody else this morning. But there's lots of things that was talked about and went live this week, as well as talked about in the town hall and are getting ready to go live next week or, within the next couple months. So a lot of things in action and a lot of things getting ready to happen. So there are a lot of things to talk about. So we can go ahead and dive into that. Let's see who's in chat. Gathering the Magic is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Gathering says, good morning. So much to talk about. I don't know where to start other than to say the best town hall in recent memory. I would have to agree with that. I think that there wasn't a whole lot going on in the January town hall because a lot of people, everybody was getting back from the holidays and getting up and running and everything. So I think that this more than made up for it. So we can jump into the details. Jason B is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Gathering says, PvE mode is something I have talked about over and over. It was the main missing element in Splinterlands. Now with campaign mode for new players and eventually all players, the sky is the limit. I agree. I've been talking about it as well. I think that all of us, a lot of us felt that there was a PvE portion to the game missing. I'm pretty psyched about not necessarily where it's starting, but you have to start somewhere and you have to lay a foundation for where the possibilities lie. And in the video I launched last night and then went live this morning, I go over a few ideas I had as far as where they could actually take this, go forward from being just like a tutorial. I know Matt doesn't want to call it a tutorial, but then if you're teaching people how to play, it's a tutorial. So, but to lay the foundation of the campaign mode and take it forward, right? I'm really psyched about getting through the initial campaign mode, which a lot of us who've been playing for quite a while will probably go through it without a whole lot of problems. It might be fun because, none of us are perfect players, right? So hopefully we'll take something away and learn something from the process. But I'm especially looking forward to where that can go forward in the future and how it can, add more to the game, possibly add more of a stream of money to the team as well. We all play games. I don't know. I can't say we all, but a lot of us play games, and in those games they will add seasonal or regular campaign packages that you can choose that if you want to play those, you can buy them. You know, it might be 10 bucks, it might be 20 bucks, but if you buy it, you get this series of campaign missions that you can go through, and more than likely you have loot, or in this case it would be cards or whatever else that they choose to give away, that a certain portion would help benefit your deck and building up your Splinterlands deck or inland, or it could be any number of things that you could benefit from. But it represents a story mode that you could get into and play, something other to do with your cards, other than just playing PvE matches, which are limited to your energy. So let's just leave it at that. We can talk further on if you want to, but I'm pretty psyched about the campaign mode. If you watch my video on that, you'll probably take that away. Jabby Saints is in the house. Thanks for dropping by. Hive, stand up. Let's go. Bolts85 is here. Hey, Bolts. I got my Sparkling Ice Energy Maximum Mango going. Okay. Gathering says, hey, Bolts, what's about the town hall? Bolts says, insanely awesome, exceeding expectations. Lots of wow factor. I agree. There was a lot, and like I said, if you didn't get a chance to watch the town hall from Thursday, take some time and go back and watch it, because it had a lot to absorb. In fact, I had to watch through it twice, or listen through, as it were, because I listen to it while I'm working. So sometimes you miss stuff, and you know, like the video I posted, I had made a mistake. I had said that it was the maintenance mode next week was on Tuesday as usual, but it's actually going to be on Thursday. So that's one thing to note. But it's well worth listening to, because a lot of information, especially the new advertising team they brought in, I'm pretty psyched. I think a lot of people agreed that he made a good presentation, and he was no nonsense, right? He cut to the chase. He answered the hard questions. He seemed like he had a firm handle on the task at hand, what needed to be done, and he wasn't just blowing smoke up our dresses, so to speak. Let's see. Supreme Victory Studios is here. Welcome, Young Eagle 95. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Bolts85 says, now I have to recalculate not only the rentals, but also land production. Yeah, I'm sure that when Land 1.75 goes live, which didn't hear a whole lot about it, but it's supposed to go live in March at some point, probably towards the end of March. We will have a lot of changes to do, and I estimate that I'll probably put a video out about my changes in land. I currently have, I think 18. Yeah, I have 18 parcels. Haven't done a whole lot in land lately. I did add some extra cards to one of my plots in Ravenwood. If you were watching my videos a week or two ago, I was following, with these 3 new plots, I was following the strategy that Gathering came up with, as far as not completely staking them out, but going back and adding gold foil 1 BCX epic cards. Let's go into production to one at a time, and then when you get enough to combine them up, and then it's a way to save on DEC from initially having to put down that, like if you did put maximum level cards on your land, then you're having to pop out that 50k DEC all at one point. This is just a way to get around that a little bit. So yeah, I have 100 Jarks on this one, and I did had 1, and I came back and I put 2 more on this. So once I get it filled up, then I will combine those down, or however that works out. And basically it allows you to slowly build up your land. It's just another way. There's 100 different ways you can stake out your land, probably more, but That's one of the things I did in Splinterlands this week. Collected off my land. I've been earning DEC off of a third-party website, which stay tuned next week. I will have a video out on that. I wanted to run this DEC earning for a month and get it kind of an average to report on before I went ahead and did a video on it. Something else. So I've still got my fingers in here, still playing along. Got 3 accounts, got my primary, secondary, which are running on the Archmage bot. And I've got my tertiary account, which is about ready to, it was free to play. And now I'm about ready to buy the spell book and go into that portion of the game, kind of as a learning tutorial type videos. But a lot's going on. So see what everybody's saying here. But yeah, Bolts 85, I'm sure when that goes live, we're all going to have to recalculate everything because everything's going to be changed. You're going to have to pay multiple resources to collect and everything. It's not going to be just grain. And that's leading us towards where the game, you know, it's a resource. It's going to be a resource management type underlay of a game. Of course, there are more. What they're eventually shooting for is much grander, but it's building one layer at a time, I think. So let's see. Gathering says grain plot's going to hit $30 plus after 1.7 rolls out. That's interesting. Well, guess what? I've been buying grain plots. Not investment advice. Jabby Saints says, can't wait for that campaign mode. I'm sure Splinterlands got lots of lore to explore with campaign mode. Yeah, talked about it for a few minutes, but I love that idea, and I'm the kind of person that would jump in here, and I'm the kind of person to my idea that would buy campaigns. Like, we get the initial campaign, which is focused on teaching people how to play the game. Love it. Plow through it. Go through it as fast as I can, probably. Enjoy it as much as possible. Then down the road, they come up with another campaign. You know, these are my ideas, right, as far as having new campaigns come out. You know, if you don't like it, you don't like it. This is not on the team, but I'm just throwing this out there. You have another campaign. It's $10, but if you have a whole storyline built in, you have a couple special cards that you can earn off the campaign that nobody else, that's the only place you can get them. You have to, it's more like a subscription, buy it type of thing. If you beat the campaign, then you get a special card, something like that. Love the whole idea, plus the storyline. And Nate probably would love that idea too. There's a lot of people that don't care about anything but the X's and O's and the numbers. I'm not necessarily that person. I love the artwork. I love the storyline. I like to earn and not lose money, obviously, but, you know. Okay, what's everybody saying? Gathering says, I need more workers. May do a video on my land situation. Yeah, I'm sure we're all going to have to. Anybody who's a creator that has land is going to have to do a land video when 1.75 comes out to show, you know, what you're doing and, you know, how you're updating things. Because, like I said, it's going to be a lot different. Bolts 85 says, nice flavor. Mango is one of my favorites. Young Eagle 95 says, really good. Town Hall. If I can say anything. Sorry, I almost burped there. I am cautiously optimistic. It still all comes down to if the team can deliver on time so the marketing can be effective. You are right, my friend. And in fact, I listened to, who was it? It was Aftersound. Aftersound had some people on, and God, I'm trying to remember who. It was one of the guys who has spent a lot of money in the game and has a card named after him. Cryptic. I forget who his name was, but I'm sorry. But he was very straightforward, and his point was, you know, and I don't want to beat this. I try to be upbeat and I try to be logical and I try to present facts. But his point was they haven't delivered on a lot on time, right? You know, so yeah. what can I say? I can understand their situation. A small team trying to work under deadline. I know how it is, and that's also why they've scaled back from trying to put out dates, right? Because you put out a date, they hold you to it. But a lot of these things, to be real, have been being worked on for years at this point, right? So I was really psyched about the validator nodes going live. I'm thinking about getting a validator node up and running. My brother has one up and running, and he has a license. I'm not necessarily thinking about buying a license at this point. I guess maybe if I could get one for less than $150, but I think when we looked at the numbers on the secondary market, they're going for $230. Maybe it's changed since a couple days ago. But if you want to buy one off the game, it's like 5,000, which I could totally not see at this point. But I was really psyched from a tech geek type point of view, and I really need to emphasize how important that is to the game on the decentralization of getting SPS decentralized, in other words, instead of all just depending upon running on the company servers. Very psyched about that, and if I go ahead and do that, I might make a video about it. Those videos I do, I once in a while I'll do like a technical video, and they just don't get many views because a lot of people are not into the geeky part of it. Sorry about it. I mean, when they started talking about it, I'm like, oh, I can build a new computer. My brother's running, I think, on a VM, and it's very, they don't require a whole lot of resources. So you can run it on a very small computer. You can run it on a VM. I think you are going to have a decent amount of storage. To start off, you don't need a large amount of storage, but keeping in mind, down the road, how big, keeping track of the blockchain and everything will be, if you're going to build out a machine, you would have to have a decent amount of storage there. So, but we can get into that in another video. So we don't get too overly geeky here, but those videos usually don't do too well because most people aren't as into it as I am. But yeah, I agree with Young Eagle 95. It comes down if they can actually bring all this to fruition for when the new marketing campaign kicks in. Hopefully sometime, they were talking about it being right around Conclave Arcana list. And just one call out because it just came to mind. I love that new Conclave Arcana font that they had built, that Nate and the team had built. I love it. As soon as they saw it, I'm like, and I'm a font guy too. I love fonts and I love artwork like that. As soon as Nate flashed that, and I'm sorry, I don't have that artwork up on screen right now, but he flashed a picture and it showed Conclave Arcana with a special font. I'm like, they built a whole font just for this release. I'm like, that's so cool. I'm going to have to look up that font and use it on some of my thumbnails because like little stuff like that, which probably took somebody a decent amount of time because you'd have to build out each single letter and what each letter looks like. It takes a lot of time and it's a lot of investment, but you can use it for a lot of things. Okay, let's jump back in and stop hearing me drivel about fonts and nodes. Let's see what everybody's saying. Jabby Saints says, we can even have Asmare, Carmeria, Animon, Dirac, Naka, Morty's, and Burning Lands campaigns. Interesting. I'll have to do some more practicing of those particular types of words. Wilbur says 3K subs. Congrats. Yeah, here last week I passed 3,000. So thanks everybody for stopping by, watching my videos, leaving likes, and subscribing. By the way, please leave a like on this live stream so it'll push it out a little bit more. Always appreciate that. I've been growing rapidly over the last year, so I've been enjoying it. I've also been pressing myself, trying to up the quality of the videos I put out and trying new technology. I'm also testing out some different things with AI to help improve my videos. But thanks a lot. Gathering says, I'm tempted to grab those rare rivers in Ravenwood. Yeah, I grabbed a few, but I have not bought any land in, I guess, I don't know, a month or two, month and a half. Wibble says, tempted to swap my land DEC for SPS. Interesting. Let's look over at, let's do a refresh on Splinter Cards. It's been nice to note that since the town hall, we've seen a little bit of a tick up in SPS. We're up above 7, so that's nice. And we also have a tick up on DEC. So there's been an interesting discussion about the status of DEC and how much DEC the company has and how much it uses on a weekly basis. And I don't have the specifics, but they use a certain amount of DEC on a weekly basis. And apparently it's going to come down to here in a week or two. I don't know the timing on it, where they're going to have to start buying more off the market for various purposes, like doing the conversions behind the scene on if you buy credits. Credits just don't come out of thin air. If you buy credits using PayPal or your credit card or whatever, the company does have to do a conversion behind the scenes. So it's basically buying DEC, I believe, and converting it over. I don't have the specifics, but I do know that there's been a lot closer scrutiny on DEC at this point. Hopefully, obviously the objective is for it to come back up to peg. And is still a little bit below peg. So if you buy it now and it goes up to peg, then you're making money. Obviously not investment advice. The DEC I buy is generally looking forward to land 1.75, because if you have land, there are going to be a few different uses that you're going to have for DEC. So I'm getting a little bit stocked up. And like I said, I've been making a little bit on the side on this other website, which is basically a staking mechanism. But I'll talk about that in a future video. I believe I've got another 5 days to go to make a month on that, and then I'll release that information. But I'll talk about it then. Let's see here. Gathering says SPS poised to move when the marketing kicks off in April and May. Well, that's another thing, and obviously this is all speculation. But I do dollar cost averaging, so I buy a little DEC and a little SPS on a weekly basis on most weeks. And it is, I don't keep an average. I'm not one of those people that kept a spreadsheet on this. But I probably am still down from the SPS and DEC I bought over the years. But it's on an uptick, So, and with the advertising talk we heard in the town hall, I am encouraged. So like I said, not investment advice. Everything I buy is pretty much for playing the actual game. Speaking of that, hey, if you want to get your name in on the drawing for 100 SPS, in the chat, put hashtag SPS to the moon. Hashtag SPS to the moon. And get your name in on an SPS drawing. Let's see here. Wheel of names. I should know that name by now. I always have to put the word wheel in and see what it pops up. So hashtag SPS to the moon and get your name in on a drawing for 100 SPS. Okay, we've got Jabby Saints. We've got Gathering the Magic. Show me that you're listening. Hashtag SPS to the moon and get your name in on a drawing for some SPS. Jason B. Adi 78's here. Welcome. Sorry, I need to catch up with chat. I've been talking. Lorcas, yeah, Jabby Saint says Lorcas and Tails. Lorcas was very vocal. And I can understand his prerogative, And Tails made a very bold statement in that video as well. KGM Jam is here. Welcome. Arnie and Wibble. Okay. Joffrey Jones. Leon Aitken. Hey, Leon, we have moved all Atlas Earth talk. I actually am going to have a complete live stream dedicated to Atlas Earth on Sundays at noon. Just wanted to get that out there. I believe I'm at 7:30 though, to answer your question. So this live stream is for Splinterlands. I found that the two discussions were not mixing well, so that's why I kind of split it up, and we have two different. So if you want to talk Atlas Earth, pop over tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Thanks. Okay, let's see who else is in the drawing. Joffrey Jones. Hey, Brian. Welcome. Bolts. I am giving away 100 SPS. Ikey. Quite welcome, Leon, and thanks for dropping by. I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, we've got a drawing going on. I'll give it another minute. If you want to get in on a drawing for 100 SPS, you have to have a Splinterlands account, or you have to have a Hive account. You know, you have to put in the chat hashtag SPS to the moon. Is there anybody I did not get on the list? Going once, going twice. Thanks for everybody dropping by. I said this at the top of the show, but I split up my shows because I didn't find that the discussion was kind of mixing well. King Cobra is here. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering where Bananas was. I saw I had commented on one of his comments in Discord earlier. Let's go ahead and do this drawing, and then we can continue this conversation. I'll jump back to see what everybody's saying. Okay, here we go. Terab the Bold. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. And we have... Wow, that was close. Audi78. Hey, Audi78, let me know your... Is Audi78 your Splinterlands name? Let me know your Splinterlands name in chat so I can send you 100 SPS. Yeah, sorry, Lotnik. You just missed it. Yeah, greetings. Long time no see. Audi78, let me know your name in Splinterlands. So I don't always assume that your name in YouTube is the same as your Splinterlands name. Okay. Because that's a bad thing to assume. Okay, so we got SPS, and I will transfer in game. $100 SPS. They've made a lot of changes. This is weird. The way the cursor is there. Okay. They've made a lot of changes in the last week. Updating the UI, and gradually it's it's moving towards a better UI for mobile use, because they are they are moving towards the release of the mobile app, which is currently in testing. Okay, let's go back into chat and see what everybody else is saying. Supreme Victory Studio says campaign mode is an absolute must and should be the priority for the team. It should have been the priority before survival mode, because survival mode is catering to about 200 people. Yeah, I mean, I talked about in my last video, yeah, I said I haven't concentrated and did a whole lot on survival mode, because I think that it is aimed at the people who bought a lot of cards and supported the game. And then they have a ton of leftover extra cards, right? And that's who it's catering for. for better or for worse. I just wasn't worried about a whole lot because looking at my collection, due to the way that's going to work, I won't be able to play much, if any of them, due to basically it's going to come down to a lot of, how many summoners do you have, because you'll get knocked out. So and then you can't, if you're knocked out, then you can't use that card for any purpose for a number of days, right? So, yeah, and I agree with you. Like we talked about a little while ago, love the idea of campaign mode and where they can go from that even further than just the, teaching people how to play the game. But a lot of these changes, especially this week, especially, going in and playing a game and the initial screens and the screens when you're picking things out. I do know that they have a problem. I know a lot of people reported, and I ran into the same problem. You got your hand at the top and you try to switch. What I'll do is I'll usually pick out the cards I want, and then I'll go back in and I'll rearrange the cards to how I want them in the lineup. Well, there's an issue with rearranging. So hopefully, I know they're working on that. So hopefully it gets changed soon. But it's all moving towards the mobile app, which is a huge thing. And I've talked about this for several years now. Great movement forward. And I hope that this gets a good release. And then the marketing, campaign he talked about, very logical, very straight to the point. His discussion on the topic, comes to fruition, and I like the idea that they're going to increase the what do I want to say, level up the look of the logo and the website and things of this nature. This is all good stuff, right? Joffrey says, we've been working on new player experience for 15 months now, still waiting for a tutorial. Yeah, well, that's where the campaign mode comes into, and it seems like they decided early on that that's the way they were going to go with the tutorial, and it's, they're still working on it. But like I said, I like the idea of what they can do with that campaign mode after the tutorial is released. What can they do with it in the future? I love that idea. Jason B says, I was more excited about the campaign mode than the survival mode. I'm right there with you, Jason. Joffrey says, we got whale mode, though, out of nowhere. Yeah, well, I don't harp on that. I used to kind of talk about it a lot, but from a business perspective, it's a fine line. You have to take into account who's bought a lot of stuff from you and supported you. And you also have to take into account, a lesser account, those people who are playing the game and make up the bulk of the body of the game to keep the game going, right? Yeah, I think that survival mode is, like I said, largely for people who bought a lot of cards. We had a lot of Chaos Legion cards to be bought up on the market, and we still have a fair amount out there. A lot of it's been bought up. But it gives them something to do with those cards. It's probably, like a lot of people are assuming, going to be a largely botted kind of mode. Give them some way to make back some money off of the cards they bought. I'm not so much worried about that. What I am worried about is the impact on the pools, the reward pools. So as it's released, the team is footing the bill for this, okay? But they want to move it after it's been going for a little while, move it over to the DAO, okay? And what I don't want to see happen is that infringe upon the reward pools that are now presently going towards, the two leagues, right? I don't want to see the two leagues reward pools squished because we have to come up with some for this other to give the top end, I don't want to say top end, but the players who have bought a lot of extra cards, right? I don't see any problem with that. I just don't want to see it affect everybody else, right? Young Eagle 95 agrees with Joffrey. Jason B says, I think survival mode is only for those with a lot of extra cards. Yeah. Bolts 85 says, drinking the new Hawaiian monster drink called Ultra Blue Hawaiian. I don't drink monsters. Not that I have anything against them. You know what I don't like is I don't like the drinks that are really super sweet. I like drinks with very low calories, and I drink the regular sparkling ice. Not that I make any money off this, like this is advertisement. Drink new sparkling ice. But I like the regular sparkling ice, so I tried these, and I find that I like them. They're low calories. They don't have they have a fair amount of caffeine in them, like 3 cups of coffee worth or something like that. But they don't have a lot of sugar, and they're not high in sweetness. They're not like you're drinking syrup out of the bottom of a snow cone or something. Okay, Gathering says, sounds great, SVS. Supreme, well, referring to Supreme Victory Studios. And they're going to reach out to him on Discord. Javi Saints goes on to detail that Chimeria is life, Asmare is water, Mortis is death. That sounds logical. Anumun is earth, Draik Naka is dragon. Mortis is death, obviously. Mortis. And Burning Lands is obviously fire. Yeah, I mean, if it proves an interesting topic for people, I'm interested in land. But the last few land videos I've done has not gotten a lot of views. Um, so he's talking about the various regions. I am in one. I am in Ravenwood, Veritas, and Tostrington, if you're wondering. And the land has generally held up in price value in the regions I'm at, in the specific areas I'm at. So, and has went up in price actually. The areas I'm at, I rarely find. I keep scanning on not every day, but a few times a week. I scan the prices and see if I can pick up a deal, but there hasn't been a whole lot of deals where I want them. Let's see. Gathering says, getting into the drip token. It is the sponsor of the tofu for the new account challenge. Yeah, I've been kind of keeping up on you guys doing that account challenge. Haven't gotten in on drip. Frankly, I've had to scale back the different things I put my money into because I'm doing so many different things, and I just kind of I have to heavily scrutinize. That's the better word. Scrutinize what I put my money in. Like I said, none of this is investment advice. So, but let me know how you're doing on the drip token. Let's see here. Now that was. Let's see. Wibble says, I think they already fixed the rearranging bug things. That's a good thing because it was driving me bonkers. Tarab the Bold says, was very impressed with Andrew on the town hall. He seems to know where his towel is. I don't know where his towel is refers to, but I agree. He had a firm handle on the situation, and the projects he listed that he's been part of and or oversaw and his company has worked on are relatively impressive, and he knows he talked straight to the point. Okay, so I think we're used to on a lot of these town halls, especially, and I'm talking back in the day, right? We're used to getting smoke blowing up our proverbial hind ends, right? We're used to advertising talk. And if you work in business, you know when you're talking to a salesman or when you're talking to an advertising member, you know what you're listening to. You're being sold a bill of goods, right? And there's a difference between that, like talking to a used car salesman. Sorry if I have any used car salesmen out there, but you're used to taking a lot of it with a grain of salt. He, on the other hand, was the complete opposite of that. He cut to the quick. He said exactly what they had planned, and gave backup, examples of why we would need it. Like the whole idea of, say, for instance, bringing in 100,000 people to the game. That's pie in the sky. If you did that, that would be top. I think After Sound said it was top 3% of all crypto Web3 games. Okay, even if you know, it really boils down to if you could get 10,000 good, strong players in the game, that would be a huge effect on this game. And we are poised to do that. Not that I'm getting any money from Splinterlands, but there's a number of things that are getting ready to come to fruition. You know, they've been working on the new player experience. They've been working on making the GUI, the graphical user interface, better for mobile. And we've got mobile app in testing, you know, and all of this has a heavy, will have a heavy impact on everything related to the game. You know, if you get these large, he was talking about bringing some big, bigger YouTubers. You know, people with big audiences, not like me, not like the other guys who. No, I'm not trying to be derogatory, but all of us who cover Splinterlands are mostly small fish in the sea, and I understand that. But if they get some big guys, big men and women who have channels out there that have audiences of hundreds of thousands or millions, that could draw in some people fast, right? And soak up extra cards off the market really fast and bring up the price of the tokens, right? So I'm not trying to get on the hype train here. I'm just trying to be realistic and look at what I hope comes to fruition and some ideas behind it. I need a drink because I just blew out a lot of hot air. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying. Gathering says Splinterlands look will be completely different in a couple months. Yeah, and I'm waiting. I can't wait on seeing the new. He specifically called out that they're going to update the logo, the icons, stuff like that. I'm expecting an overhaul of what the introductory page on the website looks like, possibly some different fonts, basically upscaling everything, making it look more top-notch. KGM Jam weighs in, says, I'm getting ambassador signups, but nobody's purchasing the spell book. Keep in mind that once they sign up underneath you, they could sign up anytime for the spell book. Yeah, I agree. And in fact, let's go over and look at my ambassador status. I have a number of people. I think the last person bought one on the 13th. So I've had 23 referrals since this started, but only 2 people have bought spell books. And if you're new to the game and you want to start, I have my ambassador code in the show notes of this game or of this live stream. Check it out if you want to start. But to your point, I agree. I'm finding the same thing. A lot of people are trying it out, but very few people are buying the spell books. And I did a call out in one of my videos, and I just asked, like, hey, if you bought a spell book or if you tried out the game and you didn't end up buying a spell book, why? I mean, you know, I'm no harshness. I'm not trying to call you out or anything. I just want to know why. All right. So because I bought my spell book more than 3 years ago, and I've been playing ever since. So, and I kept this up here specifically, and I turned my bot off because I wanted to show you guys. I find my deck was finally able to beat a tofu, even though it was a level 1 tofu, and it was kind of a weird hand they picked out. Halfling Refugee backed up by a Blackmoor Wild Elf, a Fungus Flinger, and a Zenith Archer. Kind of an odd hand. Yeah, I can see. These were really low-level cards, even though it was a Tofu. Tofu is one thing I don't have. Speaking of that, you know what I want to do? I want to open a pack. Let's see here. Where are we going to... We're going. I can't buy. I usually buy my stuff off of Monster Market, but you can't buy packs on Monster Market. So I'm going to go over to Peak. Let's do a refresh on this and see what Rebellion packs. I haven't opened a Rebellion pack in a long time. I've given away a few once in a while. Let's see here. How much? Let's see. Let's open up. How much does 5 packs cost? Do I have enough? Yeah, I have enough. Let's buy 5 packs. See what I get. Just for, just for fun. Because who doesn't like opening packs, right? Okay, let's go back to chat. Once again, thanks everybody for dropping by. This is a great stream. I mean, I'm showing almost 40 people. Please leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's check out the packs. See if they've made it over to my account. Yes, I have 5 I can open up. Let's just go ahead and open them all up. I'm keeping 100. Okay, here we go. Cross your fingers for me. Okay. Digan Dark Hunter. Area Bandit. Oh, here we go. Nice. Red Worm Dragon. Epic. Gold Foil. Nimbledook Ranger. Chaos Animator. I've got a relatively... I think I leveled... I maxed out my Chaos Animator. I don't have a whole lot of Rebellion cards. Mariput Magician. Chul. Juanchi. Let's just see. Here's a rare. Prophet Rosa. Endless Ape. Silverblade Fighter. Blackmoor Trickster. Here we go, baby. It's a legendary. Elias Max Pruitt. Nice. Skyspire Yak. Martorin. Seeker. Helheim Demon. Love that artwork. It's great. Wouldn't that make a great tattoo? Another Digan Dark Hunter. Torch Vizier. Chaos Lackey. Another Nimbledook Ranger. Here's the last line. Here we go. Blackmoor Trickster. Prunda. Nimbledook Scout. And the last one's a rare. A Rekla. Okay, pretty nice. I did get an epic out of, or a legendary, and I got an epic out of that. So not too bad whatsoever. Okay, let's go back to chat. See what everybody's saying. Wibble says playing survival mode on Mavs is really fun. Losing the meta cards makes you think. Yeah, I agree. It would take a lot of strategy. What do you want to play and risk, right? Risk and reward. Bolt's talking about having to break out a suit and tie. I want to see that for a video. I want to see Bolt's in the suit and tie. The Jetto's here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Gathering says, I always wear a suit. You just can't see it. Boltz says, Monster Energy drink, 0 sugar and only 10 calories. But is it super sweet? It says blueberry, so it means I'm getting my fruit servings. Yeah, right. Tarab says, know where your towel is. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. Okay, well, a good one on you. I never read that book. I do know what it is, but I just never read it. Ike says that his CV was impressive, talking about the new guy we have in charge of marketing, or the team. International Travel Channels in the house. Guten Tag, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Some people from across the world are joining us at much different time zones. So I very greatly, as I always say at the beginning of my videos, I know the one thing we can never get back is our time. So I appreciate when you spend some of your time with me. Gathering says, when we get 4 to 5 more Vuctus level investors, we're here. Watch out. Yeah, I agree. Terradraz is here. Hello, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Good luck on the pack. Okay, so he's talking about on the packs that I just opened. Gathering says he's selling a pack for $4.02 on Hive. Bolt says I buy spell books on a monthly basis. Tarab the Bold says Bronze Dragon, KGM JM, Gathering the Magic. Why don't you post the in-game names of the people you signed up who bought a spell book and let your community show them some love? I'm sure many long-term players have cards they can delegate. That's a nice idea. Hadn't thought about it. Let me think about it. And don't be surprised if you see that idea in a video. I'll give you a call out if I use it. It's a good idea, though. Gathering says, not sure if they have any. I need to do this in my video. Supreme Victory Studio says, nice. Love Max Pruitt. Elias Max Pruitt. Bolts 85 says, congrats. Good hits. Jason B says, it's worth buying the cards for what you get. Yeah, I mean, the changes they made when they released Rebellion packs and how the price has really held up with most of the cards on the marketplace is a good change, right? It needs to be there a lot. There's been a lot of discussion about the pack pricing coming up for Conclave Arcana. But I think that things will follow through. There's going to be a lot more options, which I'm looking forward to in the various different types of packs, which interestingly enough, Nate put out some artwork of what the packs, artwork's going to look like coming forward. But you're going to be able to buy, instead of just buying a pack, you're going to be able to have a few different choices. You're going to be able to buy the low-level packs, which you get more cards for your money, but you're only getting commons and rares. You're going to be able to buy the upper-level legendary packs. It's going to cost more, but you're going to get a legendary, etc. So I'm really, I like how that's going. So we'll have to see how that holds up, hopefully across the marketplace. In other words, you buy a pack and then the average value of the cards is around the pack price or above, so Gathering the Magic says plans for CA, how many packs, types of packs everyone going for. I don't know. I've been starting to stack a little bit of DEC specifically for that. I've never been one of those guys that goes out and just buys a huge amount of packs right off at the outset, because frankly, what I've found is that a lot of people buy the packs at on the pre-sale, and there's something to be said for if they have some kind of prize or something for buying most packs and everything. And I'm talking not just like a title or something. Some people like collecting the titles, but I'm talking about actual cards and stuff. There might be some value in there, but a lot of times you buy a bunch of packs, and I'm just really still gun shy from the pre-sale of Chaos Legion. I'll put it out there. I'm still gun shy from that because people bought tons and tons of packs and paid $4 or $5 whatever the cost was up per pack right up front, and then we're buying Chaos Legion packs for 30 or 40 or 50 cents, right? So, of course, a lot has to be said about the numbers of packs that were printed at that point. The numbers are way down now, so Bolts85 says, so I don't know if I should buy in the pre-sale or just wait until after for the Conclave packs. I know Brave Tofu is going for another card design on pre-sale leaderboards. Like I said, it all comes down to what the prizes are going to be, right? Of course, the big dogs are going to be shooting for those custom cards. That's always a favorite amongst them. I'm not up there. That requires a lot of money. But I might buy. I usually buy some, but I'm nothing to brag about. I am probably going to want to have some packs to stake, for the wagons. Lady Sharon's in the house. Welcome. Hello. Popped in today to like and help with the algorithm. I have to write down my questions for tomorrow's stream. Nice. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Lady Sharon is one of my viewers from Atlas Earth, so appreciate you jumping in to help out the numbers. Yeah, we're going to be having an Atlas Earth only stream starting on Sundays, and we'll see how it goes. If it goes great, we'll keep it going. If it if it bottoms out, then we'll see how long it goes. But we can jump in there and have fun. I've got a lot of great feedback about it. So we'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Gathering says, just a hint on what's coming. You are going to want to save up a lot of money for Conclave Arcana. Well, that's always been the thing. It's always the push. Buy a lot. Buy right up front. So. It is what it is. I think we're all used to it at this point. None of this is investment advice. Like I said, I'm always the guy that tries to be logical and try to. You always have to look at what your finances can afford and what you want to spend on it, and be logical with your purchases. Right? I'm always the guy that tries to get a deal. So I am not the demographic that they're shooting for the pre-sale. Definitely. And I'll agree with that. I'm the guy on the back end that brags that, hey, I got packs, Chaos Legion packs at 35 cents, Hey, because guess what? Their cards, they work in Wild. Obviously, Chaos Legion is coming out of Modern pretty soon, so you want to look at that, especially if you're a relatively new player to the game. You want to focus more on Rebellion and Conclave Arcana. I'm really interested, obviously we're all card players, in getting a look at the cards from Conclave Arcana. We got to look at a couple pieces of artwork during the town hall, which looked pretty cool. That Dwarven Mage, he said, which I thought looked a little bit more like a halfling or something or other, or a gnome. But either way, it looked pretty cool. I might have to have one of those. Tarab says, I'll buy in the pre-sale if it will benefit me more than buying after. Titles are nice, I feel, good for land. Yeah, but it's all a personal take, right? You can stake a title on land for what it gets you. I don't know if it's worth the price. Excuse me. Jason B says, Jeff opens cards is probably the only one that will buy a lot. Gathering says, wonder how Jeff is doing. I miss his content. Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't seen him put out much, but when he was putting out, he was opening tons and tons of packs. I think correct me if I'm wrong, I think he owns a card shop, sports card shop, I'm not sure. But he always, when he's doing videos, he always seems to be in a card shop, so not quite sure on that. Bolts85 says Stever82 is going in heavy. Oh, really? I had to pop over, and I used to watch Steve's videos a lot, but I haven't seen a lot of them lately. The Jetto, CA plans. Buy singles instead of packs. Just buy what I need, like, and hope it's enough for the new Modern. I really went full throttle on that strategy for a long time with Chaos Legion because the price of the cards were so low. But at this point, and you just saw I opened up a few packs. At this point, the cards are maintaining their value. Just to give you an example, okay? So I was watching a video by Gathering the Magic earlier whenever I was working out, and he was talking about Rebellion summoners and their value going forward whenever the changeover happens. Now let's take a look at Peak Monsters. Whenever I originally switched over here, you probably saw that I was looking at the card market and I was looking at summoners under Rebellion. And you'll see that the prices are pretty moderate, but if you wanted to go in and buy a common level summoner and max it out, it's $91. $91 for a common level summoner. Because my idea going out of the video is, he makes a few good points. I should probably pick up some summoners. Well, let's look at rares. Rares, if you want a common level summoner, they're only $32. Okay. So maybe it's a better value to go ahead and just pick up some rare summoners. Not certain. I do like the dual splinter value of them because check it out. You buy dual splinter summoners and you theoretically have a summoner that can work for 2 splinters going into the changeover in, working in Modern, right? So there's a lot of idea, it just really, it blew my mind when I saw that a common level summoner was $90. And that's just the cheapest one. There's a lot of variables that go into that. The lower level of number of Rebellion packs that have been opened, etc. A lot of it comes down to how good they are to play, right? So. Okay, we're getting down towards the bottom of the hour. Let's see who has the last word here. I'm going to copy one. Gathering the Magic says we content creators should get cards to release for the community before the pre-sale. I like that idea. And what he's talking about is they're not giving us cards, but they show us some artwork. So they split up the artwork. They gave each of us content creator a couple pieces, 2 cards with the artwork, so that we can release the information on our website on our videos. It's not like they gave us something. I'm not sponsored by Splinterlands. I just talk about it because I like the game, right? Once in a while, Blaze has given me some packs to give away, and everything that they've given me to give away has all been given away at this point. So, but I do like that idea where they gave us some new pieces of artwork to release on our channel. Bolts85 says, I might just buy legendary packs. I will be buying some legendary packs. I will also be buying some low-end packs. So there'll be a good sprinkling of each that I buy just to kind of try. My goal will be to fill out my deck and to make some usable cards. And by usable, meaning cards that I can play in the Diamond 2, Diamond 1 area. It seems like over the last few seasons, my deck has not made it into Champ. And even in Diamond 2, I was noting that yesterday I went through a series. Of good matches, but the day before yesterday, I just had like 10 losses in a row. I was kind of getting downhearted. Like, should I turn my bot off or whatever? Wibble says, haven't bought any land for 3 weeks. He thinks he's cured. All that it'll take is one deal popping up. The Jetto says, new modern. I think we'll see a lot of Rebellion reward cards in play, especially in the lower league. Yeah, I agree. But you know what's not in rewards? Summoners. Gathering says, okay, Gathering has the last word here since we're a little bit over time and my voice is starting to go out. Go for a silver level Rebellion set, kids. You will do well. Don't worry about max level. I don't know. I mean, I know how you approach your videos, but, I'm used to playing in Diamond, and I don't think, I don't know if I'm going to want to go down to playing in Silver. But obviously, the whole game is going to change, and it might be worth playing in the Silver level in Modern, right? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Gathering says, wait until April and May, and common summoners will be 300 plus. Nothing would surprise me. Okay, on that word, that's the last word. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. I hope you have a great week, and I'm looking forward to, don't forget the big update that's coming this week, and that will be on a Thursday, which I was wrong in my video from last night, and I said it was on Tuesday because that's normal, right? But it will be on Thursday. So either way, everybody have a great week. This has been Bronze Dragon on the Saturday morning stand-up. Thanks for joining me. And I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And I will see you in Splinterlands.